Welcome to Mastering Music with Matthew. Today we're going to talk about shoulders. Okay, so I had a great question for me on my YouTube channel here, Matthew's Music Lesson Studio, on a comment on my video for Isn't She Lovely? Stevie Wonder, alto saxophone cover. Anyway, as I scroll down through the comments, I find a really cool comment question from Leon Winkler, a good buddy of mine on YouTube. He says, really nice sound, no comparison to your old vids. How did you develop it so nice? So I wrote back and I said, thanks for asking. The long answer will be a future video inspired by your question. The short answer is I recorded the audio in Reason and mixed and mastered, then combined in my video editor. Okay, so this video is the long answer to your question, Leon. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and go into my DAW Reason, and we're going to take a look at our mixer, and you're going to see that we have track left and track right. I recorded them with a split. That's very important. We're also going to see that I have my tenor saxophone recorded on one channel here. Now, we're going to listen to this song here with just my tenor saxophone, just as I recorded it. I'm just going to turn all this stuff off here that I did to it. So this is what it sounded like basically when I recorded it. See, track left and right, tenor saxophone, one channel, one take, that's it. So if I was lucky, Leon, I would get a sound like this maybe. Trying to approach it as a live gig rather than a recording session, right, with video. So I decided to put some effects on it. Let's give it some plate reverb. I could at least easily do that with a mixer, a guitar amp. And let's EQ it with our high pass and low pass filters. Just gently take out some of the flab. Put our compressor on. So that's the head. Okay? I'm not just talking, I'm not talking about jazz terms, the head of the song. I'm talking about, that's the head. If you think about the lead instrument, lead vocal track. So it's generally going to be put in the center and is generally going to be, pretty big sounding with a lot of big EQ, like you'll have your bass and you'll have your highs or both. So, the cool thing here is we want to take and spread our sound out so that you spread your voice, spread your instrument across the sonic spectrum, okay? And I mean this in three ways, okay? The first thing we want to do is panning, right? Then we also want to do different settings for our effects, or actually, technically, we would use completely different effects on our sends for each channel. And then we also want to have different EQ and compressor settings. And the compressor settings don't have to be very different, just slightly different. Just that way, each of these sounds are going to be a little different. So follow me here. When I go back to my Reason screen share here, so we're back in Reason, and what we're going to do is we're going to show you here the rack. One of the really cool, awesome things about Reason is that it has the rack. And the rack is just like, in a real hardware situation with audio gear, you can turn the knobs and sliders. I just love Reason so much. And on the back, there's little cables that connect everything. You can move stuff around and plug it and unplug it and all that great stuff. So you can see my tenor saxophone audio channels right here. It's like a little rack box. And I connected it to a Spider audio merger and splitter. And what this guy is going to do is it's going to allow me to copy my tenor saxophone onto additional audio tracks without having to copy the WAV file, which makes the entire session bigger. It makes it take longer to load. It makes it harder to process. It slows your computer down because you're processing different audio files rather than just sending the audio signal to different mixers channels so that you can have different settings and different effects in EQ and compressor. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here we go. I send my tenor saxophone to my Spider. Then here's the copies. The original goes back. Now I have copy 1. It's going to go to this track called tenor sax left. Then I got this one to tenor sax right. So when I flip the rack back over and I go to my mixer, all right, now here we go. We are going to show you, this is the head. We've been listening to it, and when I put some effects on it, it sounded better. Okay? Let's turn it down a little bit, and let's see what happens if I add a shoulder to it. Let's start by adding this left shoulder. Now, what I did to the left shoulder is I put film score reverb on it instead, and I processed it different, so this one has more lows and less highs than the lead in the center. Let's see what it sounds like. Oh, whoa. Listen. Without it. I mean, wow, difference, right? Now let's try this one. This one has a warm echo on it, and it also has high EQ settings. So where my highs here are cut off at 10, I cut them off at 13, and then my lows I scooped out on my high pass filter to 597 instead of 200. So this is a couple, you know, an octave and a half. Let's make it sound more ghostly, right? So check it out. I'm going to add the right shoulder, the high shoulder. Crispness and presence. Depth. Before, nothing. Loud, nothing. Just the head loud. Listen. With the shoulders. Listen again. Plain. Just the head. Shoulders. One more time. Plain. Is volume the problem? That sounds okay. That's the sound I want. All right. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Is there anything that I talked about that you're like, huh? What's that? What's a high pass filter? What's a compressor? You know, what's even reason, I mean, anything. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of these Mastering Music with Matthews with a different topic each week. So just let me know in the comments below. What would you like me to talk about? What are you learning? Let's see if we can learn something together. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, Matthew's Music Lesson Studio. Please like this video, share it with your friends, and do me another favor. If you're interested in being on Mastering Music with Matthew, or Jam and Chat with Matthew, my interactive shows that I have on my channel, you can join our Facebook group. There's a link in the description, and when you go there, you can get invited to this Zoom meeting where we do this, and at the end, I can answer your questions. That way, I can do it all in one session. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time on Mastering Music with Matthew.